with a patchy beard. Now, let's begin. Number 1, let it grow. The simplest way to get rid of a patchy beard is to play the waiting game. Hey, don't trim your beard every time it gets to a certain length. This is a mistake that so many guys make. They want a fuller beard. They want to cover up those obvious patches, right? But they keep cutting off their hair before it gets the chance to really grow. Your facial hair grows in at different speeds. Some areas of your face will look lush and full in less than a week. Others will take an entire month to grow just a thin layer. But even if it takes a while, you have to give those empty patches an opportunity to catch up. Otherwise, they never will. Number 2, stimulate hormone production. But why do some facial hairs grow faster than others? Well, it's all thanks to a set of hormones called androgens, and these hair regulators control the growth of your facial hair by replacing and replenishing its structure. But androgens don't always create more hair growth. According to a 1993 study from a journal called Clinical Endocrinology, androgens actually interfere with some kinds of body hair growth. On your scalp, for example, androgens are a common cause of hair recession or baldness. Luckily, it doesn't work the same way for your beard. That same 1993 study explains how your facial hair has the opposite reaction. In fact, your beard relies heavily on androgens to grow at a constant speed. You know those faint little hairs on your arms or legs? They're usually thin and colorless. They're barely noticeable unless you're looking for them. Well, that's what your facial hair would look like without androgens. This hormone thickens and lengthens your hair follicles while also giving them their darker color. So, how do you increase the amount of androgens in your body? Well, in men, androgens actually go by a different name because males only produce one kind. You might recognize this chemical as the primary male sex hormone, otherwise known as testosterone. According to a 2013 article by the National Institute of Health, testosterone plays a wide variety of roles in the body. It regulates your muscle mass, it stimulates the production of red blood cells, and it also keeps your facial hair strong and healthy. And that's why many people with patchy beards look for ways to naturally boost their body's hormone production. Yeah, I know that sounds difficult, but there are actually quite a few ways to kick your testosterone into high gear. Number 3, rigorous exercise. The first and most common is regular exercise. A famous 1989 study in a journal called The Mechanisms of Aging and Development tells us that exercise can increase hormone production. This study tested 2 groups of male participants. The first was in their mid-20s, while the second was in their mid-60s. Using these 2 groups, researchers could figure out how exercise affects testosterone in men of all ages. So, what did they find? Participants in their 20s saw larger hormone increases, but both groups of men produced more testosterone across the board. In other words, over the course of a few weeks, almost all participants saw significant growth in their testosterone levels. Since your facial hair depends on testosterone, this healthy boost can raise your chances of filling in those patches. So if you want to get rid of that patchy beard, just start by creating an exercise routine. And when you challenge your body on a regular basis, you may notice more hair growth in as little as a few weeks. Number 4, minimize your stress. Another way to increase testosterone is to decrease the production of something else, and this is a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol actually stops your body from producing testosterone, which also means it slows the growth of your facial hair. So, what is cortisol, and where does it come from? Cortisol serves an important purpose as your body's natural alarm system. So anytime something's going wrong, mentally or physically, your kidneys release a flood of cortisol into your bloodstream. Okay, let's imagine you're camping in the woods when you hear a noise outside your tent. What was that? As soon as you hear that noise, your brain senses danger and you experience stress. So your kidneys alert the rest of your body, activating your fight or flight response and creating the emotion we call fear. But cortisol and testosterone have a weird sort of relationship. When one goes up, the other goes down. This comes from a 1998 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. People who are frequently experiencing stress and producing lots of cortisol may be lowering their testosterone levels, which can really take its toll on your facial hair. That's why reducing stress is such an effective way to promote hair growth. Healthy habits like meditation and regular exercise can reduce general levels of stress. Even small things like laughter can have a major effect on your body. A 1989 study from the American Journal of Public Health explains how one round of laughter can significantly reduce cortisol production, which opens the door for more testosterone and more hair growth. So even if your beard looks patchy right now, don't stress about it, because that stress is only going to slow your body down. Number 5. Fix your sleep cycle. How can a good night's sleep help you grow a better beard? Yeah, I know it sounds strange, but changing your sleep cycle can work wonders for your facial hair because sleep affects your hormone production, and your hormone production affects your facial hair. This discovery comes from a 2007 study published in the journal Sleep. Researchers wanted to see if sleep quantity changed the amount of testosterone in your body. They hypothesized that better sleep quality means more testosterone. And you know what? They were right. Participants who consistently enjoyed a full sleep cycle had higher levels of testosterone. But it wasn't just the number of hours you sleep. Turns out the quality of your sleep is just as important. The same 2007 study found that sleeping deeper could positively impact your hormone production. So if you want to fill out that patchy beard, it's time to work on your sleep cycle, because longer, deeper cycles release the hormones that you need for stronger hair. Number 6. Find your style. I know we've talked a lot about testosterone, but hormone production isn't the only way to deal with a patchy beard. Sometimes a simple change to your style will turn something patchy into something sharp. For many people, a full beard isn't really an option. I know it sounds fun to grow yourself a full, luscious beard. However, there's only so much your facial hair can do. But that doesn't mean you have to go clean-shaven. Many celebrities, for example, have the same kind of thin or uneven facial hair. But they work around those patches by keeping their beards trimmed or stylized. In fact, countless actors and musicians have used thin facial hair to craft their iconic looks. So, what specific styles can you use to cover up your patches? The first foolproof option is a simple stubble. Most of the time, stubble is all you need to capture that rugged, mature look, which is probably why you wanted a beard in the first place, right? But here's the beauty of stubble. Your beard will be so short, it'll look even all the way across your face, which means your patches are going to fly right under the radar. Well, if stubble is too short for you, here's another easy option. Just lower the top line of your beard. Start from the middle of your cheek and move that upper edge toward your jawline until your patches disappear. Many men don't realize how easy this trick really is. While your hair naturally grows up your cheek, bringing down that upper ridge will give you a much cleaner shape. Not only will you look sharper and more professional, that small change to your facial hair will also help you establish a more unique style. In other words, a patchy beard doesn't have to be a recipe for disaster. I know, they can be frustrating to work around, but sometimes those patches are a blessing in disguise. Number 7. Incorporate your patches. At the end of the day, a patchy beard isn't something you need to be ashamed of. It's not something you need to fix, to cover up, or hide from the world, because those patches are unique to you as an individual. They make your beard into something one of a kind, something only you could grow. So instead of dealing with your patches, incorporate those little flaws into your overall style. This works best with longer beards, because ultimately the styling and grooming of your beard matters a lot more than your patches. Don't believe me? Let's compare two very common types of beard wearers. The first one has some pretty noticeable patches, but they always keep their facial hair clean and well-groomed. They found a style they like and they committed to it. The second guy, on the other hand, has no patches, but his beard is wiry and unkempt. He's never taken the time to trim or organize his beard, so it just looks like a mess. So, which of these two guys has the better beard? Be honest. Even though the second guy's beard is fuller, the first guy has a much more cohesive look. Well, why is that? Because he commits to one style and he owns his patches.